The economy is recovering and the unemployment rate is dropping. But for recent college graduates, the unemployment rate is even higher. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Robert Trainum. Joining me today is Marianne Gomez. She's the Executive Director of the Congressional Hispanic Leadership Institute. Marianne, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Here's what we know. As I mentioned a few moments ago, thank goodness the economy is kind of chugging along, if you will. Millions of Americans are going back to work. This is after the Great Recession of 2008. Right. But as I mentioned a few moments ago, Marianne, when you graduate from college, unfortunately, you have all this great brain power, you have all this knowledge, academic knowledge, but you don't have a lot of experience on your resume.
Right.
And so a lot of folks out there says, you know what, come back in about 2 to 3 years when you can actually say you've done something, when you actually say you have experience. And the only way that you can get experience when you're in college is to what? Have an internship, right?
It's always that catch. Ooh,
always.
Students don't want to hear come back.
Right.
So we do at our nonprofit, we have internships for that same reason, to give students that competitive edge. But I really want to encourage all parents and all students to really, really think about internships. And they come in all shapes and forms. And they can be paid, they can be unpaid, and even volunteering, which is not really like the internship umbrella, that still counts.
Because you're still getting experience.
Right, you're still getting experience.
Right.
So a resume has to include all your experience that's relevant. If you volunteer, if you have a passion for animals and you want to work in a place with animals, try it out, go volunteer. Offer unpaid if they don't have a paid internship. But it's to get that name of, you know, I interned for a weekend at blah, 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 or worked with so-and-so. That makes a difference.
It does make a big difference. You know, Marianne, here's the unfortunate truth, as I mentioned a few moments ago. People of color, people that look like you and I, unfortunately have a steeper hill to climb as it relates to getting their door, their foot in that door, if you will, trying to knock down that door when it comes to internships. Why is that the case?
I think a lot of times is that culturally, it's not something we're used to. It's not something that we
because our parents may not have had an internship, or whatever the case may be.
They didn't know. We have friends and family that now we know how to go ask each other for a part-time job, but it's the same transferable skill.
You're
it's
exactly
the same thing to ask someone who maybe we don't know that well, or an organization we're not familiar with, to ask, and it's okay to ask. It's okay to volunteer. It's okay to say, hey, I have this brain power.
Absolutely.
And this is what I studied, and I want to give it a shot.
Well, the good thing about internships, and I'm only speaking from my experience, I had 7 when I was in college. And
that's a lot.
Yeah, and the main reason why is because, you know, my parents didn't have internships when they were going through school, but they were savvy enough, they don't have to be smart enough, but savvy enough just to kind of push me and my brothers and sisters into doing free labor. And what it was
it's called internship.
Yeah, and it was just great. It was great experience for conflict resolution, how to dress appropriately, how to comport yourself in meetings. I mean, that stuff is just invaluable. And to your point, Marianne, putting on your resume, and it only could be 1 page, that's okay, by saying for 7 days a week or 5 days a week, I assist my manager in meeting preparation or whatever the case may be. Just something that people can say, aha, this person has a little bit of skills.
The challenge that we have in communities of color is that we have not had those exposures. We have not been exposed to those environments, and we need to do that. We need to be in a place that looks and sounds different, and with people that sometimes look and sound different. That's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. You're going to be fine. And we need to have that experience on your resume.
Marianne Gomez, thank you very much and keep up the great work. And I think it's very important out there for the parents, your aunts, uncles, loved ones, friends, neighbors, to encourage people of color to speak up and say, you know what, not only do I need the extra experience, but it's also good for the social interaction, if you will, in terms of networking and all the other good stuff. So Marianne Gomez, the Executive Director of the Congressional Hispanic Leadership Institute, keep up the great work and keep interning interns. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us for this edition of Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Robert Trainum. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.